Hello, everyone. I'm Russell Royce Laurie, and welcome to season number 2 of Cool Folks Who Love to Bachata. I've decided a year ago to go live with members from our Cool Folks Who Love to Bachata Facebook page all around the world to find out what they do when they're not dancing. What do these fabulous artists do in the days and the weekends? What do they do with their friends, with their family? What is their life outside of the spotlight? So I asked Facebook if I could do something different. I don't want you guys to just post stuff and I respond like and love. I want to do something totally different. I want you guys to go live with me and talk. Facebook said dancers don't talk, DJs don't talk, musicians don't talk. I'm like, they will when they're live with me. Facebook like whatever, and it worked out. Season number 1 was great. We had the world's greatest dancers from all over the world. Dancers, artists, organizers. Oh my God, I went virtually with members from California, Paris, Hawaii, New York, Australia, India, you name it. I did it. And it's good because I always feel that what they have to say publicly could help the world. This is not only a promo thing for them, but this could help the world. It could help a child. Maybe a child is a little confused. They don't know about what it's like in a music world and stuff. Maybe what uh, the you guys tell them might help them. Maybe someone is sad. Maybe someone is depressed. You don't know what's going on. So the point of doing these interviews is not only to look good on camera and to promote events that these artists have, but to help the world. And the world really needs a lot of help right now, as everyone knows. Without getting into too much politics, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? A lot of stuff. We got like snowstorms, we got rain every day. We got high rise in like taxes, we have inflation, we have, little kids getting hurt, getting kidnapped. We have adults getting killed. We have a lot going on and it seems endless, right? So maybe part of doing these interviews can just help everyone, take your mind away from everything, relax, come together, unite. Because, what's special about doing these interviews is that we all share this earth together. We all have to live together and just communicate and just so it's a better world when we come together and we listen to these interviews and we learn and we reflect on how that can help us. Okay, so without me going deeper into another Roswell explanation like I normally do, um, I want to say thank you to all the guests that went live with me last year. Thank you so, so, so much to each one of you. All the videos are published on our YouTube channel, which is Cool Folks Who Love the Bachata, so check it out. Tonight, I'm going to have my first guest to kick off the 2024 season. His name is DJ Chris Cross from California. And I'm smiling because back in my days, I was thinking about Chris Cross, the artist from like back in the 80s and 90s. So now there's a new Chris Cross, and he's from California, and he's a DJ. So everyone knows how old I am now, So 80s, 70s, 70s. Sorry, I should not have said that, but yeah. But anyway, DJ Chris Cross is gonna join us, and we're going to talk about his events and his career path and anything else he feels comfortable sharing. Okay, so I'm honored. I'm honored that he's going to be live with me. If anyone thinks that you know I'm sick, I am sick. I'm just trying to cover it up. As everyone knows, I'm in New Jersey, and I've been miserable this entire winter. Since I left Atlanta, the beautiful warm area of Atlanta, I came back to Jersey, and I'm complaining, complaining, complaining every day. Shovel snow, clean snow. So today I decided to be super raw, to go without a jacket, and I was shoveling, shoveling. Now I'm paying the price. So I'm trying to cover up my sickness so I can look good on camera and I can talk to Chris. Just some announcements real quickly. I am planning to go to Boston next weekend for a big event, so I look forward to that. I am coming back to Florida, coming back to Orlando in February to attend a big bachata event. Um, and I'm planning to do some other traveling, as the year progress. I'm thinking about coming to Las Vegas for the first time, maybe come back to California soon in the spring or the summer. But the year has just begun, so if I magically pop up at your event, don't be surprised. Okay? I love to surprise you guys. I'd like to show and be like, hey, you never know when I might show up. But anyway, let's get this interview started before I have to take some honey and tea. So I'm losing my voice. Christopher, Kristoffer, I'm so sorry. I'm bad with names. You're not a Christopher, you're a Kristoffer. Okay, okay. Smart, I see, or vice versa. I like that name, Kristoffer. You're not, how are you? Where did you get that name, Kristoffer? I thought my name was cool, also, but Kristoffer, it sounds so royal. How did you get that name, bro? Tell me. I don't know many Kristoffers.
Gosh, no, I gotta give that to my parents. I gotta give them the credit for that because the spelling and Christopher is not actually my first full name. My first full name is Christopher Conrad.
Congrats. That sounds so English, so royal, like Christopher is like, yeah. Where are you originally from, man? You from California or?
Yeah, Cali. I was born in Santa Clara General Hospital, so Bay Area born.
General Hospital. You mean like that soap opera? Is there? No, no, wait, no, wait. You got me thinking here. Isn't there a soap opera, General Hospital? Aren't they broadcast? Wait,
hmm
don't they broadcast live from that part of California? So there is a General Hospital. I just thought it was make believe. So,
No, they had that show because I remember my mom and my sisters watching it like around 1 or 2 o'clock because that's when it came on for some reason, and it bored the crap out of me.
it's still on, bro. It's still long, strong. I have to come to California one day. I mean, as I was telling you before we went live, a lot of our friends are telling me, Russell, when are you gonna come to California? When are you gonna come back and see us and stuff? It depends on
hmm
my mom, because I nurse my mom now, as everyone knows. So it's kind of difficult for me to take these extended week traveling like I did back in the days. But I want to come to California. I haven't been in maybe 4 or 5 years. I used to hang out in Santa Monica, Los Angeles at the bachata events, and but this was before I created Cool Folks Love to Bachata. So, but I never came back, and I should. I'm way overdue. I'm like 5 or 6, no, 8 years. Been 8 years. Oh my god. So I have to come back to
You're long
Cali.
overdue.
Yeah, check, come say hello to everyone and come to everyone's events. Um, I wanted to say first of all, thank you so much, DJ Chris, for going live with me. You are the first guest of the 2024 season, and I'm honored. I know
It's
it
an
was kind
honor
of
to be the
short
first.
notice to do this, as everyone knows, I'm totally unorganized. Like normally when you plan interviews, it's supposed to be like a year in advance. Um, I don't know about planning. So I'm like, so before I contacted you, I said to myself, there's 3,000 members on Cool Folks. And I remember your posting, the Bachata Room posting, which we're going to talk about in a few. And I said, who can be the first guest I bring on? Close my eyes, pointed my finger. Christopher.
Bingo.
I'm not joking. Chris, I knew. I told you. I'm not sure. There's a reason I'm not a banker. I mean, imagine me making decisions on. Yeah, yeah. No, but I want. But I read. I read about your history. A lot of people said great things about you. Larry, for example. Larry Tony. He wrote that great tribute to you, which we're going to share in a second. You have a good reputation, and so I'm happy that you are the first guest to go live with me. Um, let's start off by if you could please tell everyone a little bit about you.
Yeah. So, um, obviously, I'm from California. Lived most of my life in Sacramento and pretty much established myself here. Um, Dancing. If it wasn't for my best man, getting married in October, if it wasn't for my best man dragging me into a salsa room, say about 11, 12 years ago, I probably wouldn't be even here on this video. So, um, I took a big leap doing that, getting into the dance scene, and look where it took me. Being live here, DJing, teaching, instructing, and so on and so forth. But um, outside of dance, I know you mentioned in your intro that it's interesting to know what artists and DJs and instructors do outside of dance. For me, I mean, I'm your average person who loves sports, basketball, baseball, football, work a daily job to make ends meet, and then when it comes to the evening time, that's when it's time to either instruct some bachata, DJ bachata, or just enjoy a bachata party. So um, there's so much that I could run on with when it comes to myself and the dance scene here in Sacramento. But thank you for allowing me to be the first this year to share some words with everyone and explain like my journey on how I got here and what I'm doing now with all my tools of dance and DJing.
Okay, I admire you responding to that question, and one of the main reasons I wanted to ask you that question, and as I do with everyone else, is because it's a reflection on me. Because many people. I had this talk with a friend of mine like recently, and he's like, Russell, like you're here, you're there. Where do you get all this money to travel? I'm like, wait up, what? Where are you getting all these assumptions that about Cool Man Who Loves the Bachata? And my friend responded and he said, well, we see you posting this, we see you showing up at this party and that part. But I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't mean like I'm filthy rich or I live like a bachelor life or like, one of those like celebrity life. I'm just a simple man. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, Monday to Thursday. Now it's Monday to Friday. I basically stay home and just watch TV and work. I do like legal work. I review contracts for a law firm. I I sleep. And then Saturday I go out and then whatever. So he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So one of the reasons I wanted to ask you guys what you guys do outside of dancing is because the public has a the public has a tendency, to instantly assume that when someone is in a spotlight or like a famous celebrity or an artist, that's all they do is dance and sing and they don't have a meaning for life or they're not serious about their career or some of them are not educated and so and I'm like, that's not true. Those are just stereotypes and whatever. Christopher, and you can't blame the public for thinking that way because
Hmm.
all people know about you guys is that the postings you guys do. That you guys have an event. That's all. They don't know what you guys do, if you guys are married, if you guys have a job, if you guys are like, you know, manhunter killers or whatever. And after this, people don't know. So I said, there's an opportunity for you guys to like, defend yourself and be like, look, yes, I party at night, I DJ at night, but Roz, guess what? This is what I do in the days. This is what I do with my family. This is what I do with my girl. This is what I do with my kids. So it's an opportunity to better explain yourselves, and I think like my Facebook was okay with that response. I said Facebook. That's I told the Facebook manager. This is one of the reasons I want to do it because I want to have these guys and these gals, tell everyone what else they do, so
Hmm.
it makes it easier. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
no, it definitely all makes sense because a
Okay.
lot of dancers here locally, they think this is all I do, teach and DJ at night and just be able to just relax during the day. But no, definitely working the day job. So if my friends are watching, now you guys know.
Yeah. Definitely, definitely. Um, I want to ask you a couple of quick questions. When you said like about like maybe 10 or 11 years ago, and your buddy just somehow got you into the salsa and all of that stuff, and then bachata and whatever. It's kind of fascinating to say something like that because a lot of people that went live with me last year, most of them would say kind of similar. It just kind of like happened. It's not something that you just wake up when you're like 7 years old or 8 years old and say, I'm going to be
I
the
want to
next
dance.
DJ Chris Scott. It's amazing how life happens, and then, so that shows that sometimes you just, in life, you just have to go with the flow of life. If it seems good and it feels good, and you may not have all the parts or the explanation, but, it's just, you just go with that feeling and then it takes you to your, your journey or your calling or whatever. So
Hmm.
I'm happy you said that. But, when you first entered the world, this music world, if I could say, or dance world, you know, did you ever think you would ever make it to the DJ Chris Cross? Do you ever think you would ever make it this far? Like there are some people they get burnt out, or they turn to the bad side, or like, and this is especially for the young ones. Young ones, when you're young, you're misguided, and you have these fantasies how it's going to be, and then it doesn't, and then but you 10 years. I mean, that's a long time. So how did you remain focused? How did you remain structured? Like, what kept you on this positive path to where you are?
So pretty much, what kept me going was being able to fall in love with bachata. Bachata was first for me. Obviously, I took ballroom classes when I was in college, and that's how I met my best man, Stanley. And he's the one that pulled me in and taught me salsa basics and bachata basics and said, "There you go. You know your basics. Go explore." I didn't know obviously what I was getting into and if it's going to be something more longevity or if it's something temporary. But being able to fall in love with the dance and the music of bachata is what definitely kept me there. It's like I couldn't get enough of it. And if I ever got to a point where I was getting too much of it, um, there were times, obviously, where I would take a little break. It's not like a full month break from dance, but like a day or two here where I could just go swing a golf club, hang out with my buddies at a bar, and just relax and then get back into it. Because um, being able to have the opportunity of dancing bachata 6 nights a week when I first started, or dancing salsa and bachata 6 nights a week when I first started, was a huge help for that. I know a lot of communities have maybe three socials a week and they don't have the outlet every single day almost. But there was so many open doors for me to stay and dance and kept motivating me. And San Francisco is an hour and a half away, and obviously, like all these great instructors and dancers live there too. So I had the best of Northern California to help me keep going. To mention like some places that inspired me to want to learn more of bachata is places that was called Hot Bachata Nights, and I was at a club called Atmosphere. Um, my friend DJ Miggs or Miguel Zaragoza, he brought me there for the first time, and I just fell in love with the venue. And then again, it's all like a continuous thing of continuing to fall in love with the dance and dancing bachata and hearing the different styles of bachata music, and it just kept me going. It's like there was a fire, and it just kept being fed. Um, and then I actually did come to a point where I was like, okay, bachata is kind of slowing down for me, but the musicality aspect of it got me more interested in salsa. So after a year or two of so much bachata 24/7, a few of my friends they love Cuban salsa or timba, and I ended up falling in love with that, and the story goes from there. I was just a dancer when I started, and wasn't expecting anything to happen, teaching or DJing or being part of a dance company or co-directing a dance company, and all those things just happen as it goes. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, you don't want to get involved with that. There's so much to it. It's stressful and this and that." I was like, "Yeah, I just want to dance. Yeah, cool." But next thing you know it, Salsa Loca is a college salsa club here in Sacramento. They invited me for a Valentine's Day special for their social, and that was my first time teaching. And I was nervous because it was, I want to say it's 60 people, 30 couples. So first class teaching bachata, didn't know what to expect, had that thrown at me. I'm just like, this was fun. All right. Never thought it would expand from there. Next thing you know, hey, would you like to teach for our school? Or hey, would you like to teach before our social? And it just kept going. And I eventually ended up joining Sac Touch, which is the branch off of Island Touch with the Takala Mana. And people saw me for the first time on the Reno stage. That was in 2012 and 2013. And that experience from there just blew everything out of proportion. I was like, I ended up falling in love being on a team, going to festivals now, which is larger scale than just a regular social in your backyard, right? Um, and then from there, just like hearing the DJs play music that I haven't heard in Northern Cali and the mixing, I'm just like, gosh, this is just getting crazier and crazier for bachata, and it's like uplifting for me. It's like I always look forward to going to events because they're always good, and then being able to go home with a smile on my face. Uh, but yeah, down the road, I was like, I would never DJ. No, no, I love dance too much. I want to dance it. Why would I want to DJ it? And we were at me and my buddy DJ J Bear. He's now J1 Creative. He does media out here. He and I went over to the Mega Congress in Vegas, and it was what 2016, 2017, and he had his DJ equipment out, and I was like, you know what? Let me mess around with this. Started messing around with it. Next thing you know it, he's like, oh, looks like DJ Crisscross is being born. I'm like, nah, no. It's a good name, but no, no. 3, 4 months later, I'm behind a DJ booth spinning for like 200, 225 people at a usual venue called the Davis Graduate here in California. And the story just goes from there. Everything just pretty much continues to grow. And that's how it's been for me in the dance scene. It's like there's just continuous growth, a lot of gratitude for all the steps that I had to take to get to where I am now. It takes a lot of hard work to get to where I had to get to be who I am in the dance scene. And there's so many dancers and DJs and instructors that I'm thankful that I was able to become friends with and to also have them as mentors. DJ J Bear obviously is one. DJ Ron, not sure if you're familiar with DJ Ron. He's taking me under his wing, and he and I always like brainstorm about things. The other local DJs, DJ Miggs, I mentioned earlier, DJ Relio, like they're all like stepping stones for me to growing as a DJ. When it came to like learning dance studios here in Sacramento, Del Campo Dance Studio, Mike Del Campo, he was honored at the Reno Latin Dance Fest. He was my first actual class at a dance venue, and I would never regret taking that class because the way he teaches relaxes the students. He creates icebreakers and jokes to like get rid of the tenseness in the room. Um, I was able to learn with Yamaya Dance Studio too when they were teaching, and they're all phenomenal dancers. Nicole Lazo, Oscar Castaneda, and the list goes on. Just super thankful for like the Sacramento community because if it wasn't for them, I mean, obviously, like I said, I wouldn't be here, or I probably would be dancing somewhere else and not on the screen with you as DJ Crisscross. But yeah, that if I could I could probably write a book about my journey from 2011 all the way up to now with what happened with dance for me and how it changed my life. Um, I definitely would give advice to a lot of dancers who are fresh getting into it, or if they're young. You're gonna meet um, you're gonna meet like you mentioned, it's like we don't know what people do outside of dance. We usually see them at night, dressed fancy, having a few cocktails, dancing salsa and bachata and more. And then we leave the venue and everybody just goes back to their lives. I mean, I've met doctors, I've met surgeons, I've met lawyers, um, and the list goes on. You're gonna meet phenomenal people. You're gonna meet people who are actually doing dance full time and knowing how their life is and so on and so forth. And what I would tell people who are new, fresh, and then like you mentioned, like the younger dancers starting to get involved, it's like take every bit of advice and guidance that you can to help mold yourself to be your unique self in the dance scene. Because that's definitely what I did. I've learned from so many people that help one humble me for sure and create like this this person who I am right now in the dance scene for Sacramento, and I'm I will always be forever grateful for that because the support is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. That book is something I think you should do. And I'm just not saying that to be funny, but to write a book, for anyone to write a book, you really have to live that book. You have to be that book. You have to. I mean, you just. I mean, I can't just like write a book about who folks love to bachata. I haven't lived that experience. I haven't lived that. I don't know what it's like to stand in front of a large audience and to teach. I don't know what it's like to grow into a DJ. I don't know. I don't know what it's like when people look at me and they're like, they give me a name. They gave me DJ Chris Cross. I mean, but you lived that experience. You know, you lived that life. You lived those years. You
Hmm.
know, you became you. I mean, you were always you, but I think life has a way of finding people in, instead of you finding life. And so and not many people are fortunate as you are in this industry. Is very competitive. For you to go live and tell me and tell everyone your story and your journey, how you became you. It's interesting. It's not like you had a plan or you came from a rich family or you came. You had like connections or whatever. I mean, you
Hmm.
just like you enter this industry open hearted. And people see that. And I always say when you are yourself, you know, you're being you, there's no competition. I mean, there's competition, but you don't have to worry about that, you know? Um, and it's kind of transparent to me. I'm just thinking about me as you talk. When I entered the media business, right? I mean, Christopher, my family, I come from the West Indies culture, so when my family migrated to this country, it was like, you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, a businessman, dancing, art, acting, not in this house,
Hmm.
right? But my dad was totally against this. I went to Rutgers, got my degree in like psychology and whatever, and blah blah blah. And then I said, I don't think I want to be a psychologist. I can't imagine giving people advice. I need advice. So I said, I want to go to the television world in New York, of all places. Blinded, I never had a TV course in my life. My dad was, you're gonna, you, get out, get out. Like, and my mom was like, son, if you're gonna do this, remember it's competition, right? And I turned back to her and I said, Mom, if people can see this, my heart, and not all of this and whatever, then there is no competition. And that's kind of like what you're saying. I mean, you're not saying the same thing as I'm saying, but you're saying something similar to me. If you are yourself, Christopher, which you just said you are, people see that. And when you're true and you're honest and your heart shows, there's no competition. People will follow you. You don't have to follow them. People's gonna come knocking on your door. You don't have to knock on someone's door. You see what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah,
just like
definitely.
you, just like I mean, you know, you be you, and then things just have a way of just falling into your lap when you least expect it. But
Yeah,
when you expect
definitely.
stuff, there is where problems begin, right?
Hmm.
Just where like anything in life, with your job, a family, a marriage, or what, it's not good to have too high expectation in life because you don't know what the future is going to hold. You could just have a little expectation, hope for the best, and see what happens. So, what you just said, um, it's encouraging, and I think you should write a book. And I mean, again, not to be sarcastic or not to be funny or not to be for publicity. I'm saying this because based upon your journey. Now, if you had said something else, you got up, you had like $1 million, and you went to this production, and this person, and you traveled. I would be like, "Ah." but writing a book has to come from experience, and experience comes from having not high expectation, going with the flow, and following your heart and your mind, and it leads you into the path that you followed. So I guess
Hmm.
what I'm trying to say, just get an editor, whatever. I mean, I think
Write
you should.
everything down.
I think you should too, because the little ones who want to follow you, and we're going to talk about that now. They might be like, they might want to follow your footsteps. By them reading the book and stuff, they could be like, oh wow, you're helping them halfway as to what to expect, what not to expect, and stuff. So this leads me to my next question. Okay, um, a kid comes up to you, a kid younger than me, much younger. Okay, uh, well, not that young. Oh, okay, younger, and he's like, DJ Chris, I am determined. I'm gonna leave home. I'm gonna, this college is not for me, or blah blah blah. I want to, you know, I want to make it out there. I know I could. I have it in me. You look at the young one, and you know how life is, how difficult it is in this media world, how competitive, like we're talking about.
Hmm.
But then again, you don't want to discourage the little one and make the little one go on a different path. And then he's 80 something years old, and then he's like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. So how can you? I guess it's sort of like a parent question I'm asking you. How would you guide that little one into the journey that you had, which he could follow? But then again, you don't want to you don't want to sugarcoat it. You don't want to be like, this is how it's going to be and blah blah blah. You have to let him or her know the pros and the cons, right? So how would you do it? The little one comes, they might do it right after this interview. You
Yeah.
never know. You never know who's listening to these interviews.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of new dancers that have came into the Sacramento Davis scene, and they're looking for that type of guidance and like where to go, who to learn from, what music to listen to, which artist, this and that and this and that, and um, the way I put it is, I mean, I'm gonna refer back to my buddy Stanley. I mean, he picked me up, brought me to the venue, made sure I knew my basics, and told me to go ask people to dance. Don't be scared. Ask the top people, ask the people in the middle of the line, ask beginners to dance, and that's how you get better. So, I mean, first piece of advice is to be humble. Definitely be humble and dance with everyone. There's no need to be picky. This dance community is very open to dancing with each other. Um, Nobody's top dog in a dance venue. Everybody's just there to have a great time dancing salsa and bachata and to learn more and to hear the great music from either DJs or live bands, live performing artists. So that would be the first thing I would tell them. And then um, second thing is definitely take classes, but don't expect to be good right away. It takes a while. I remember dancing the basics all the time when I went to these venues, and yeah, there were some dancers that wanted to dance like better dances and not with a beginner, and I understood that, and I just like knew who to pick to ask to dance because they would actually dance with me and like correct me on things. So um, Yeah, criticism. You're gonna get a lot of feedback from dancers when you start. Don't take it to heart. Like learn from it, use it as fuel, because uh, it's advice. I mean, I was told before that I was dancing salsa on three. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm new. It's like I'm just trying my best to enjoy dancing to the music at this point right now, but I'm still learning. So there's times where you're gonna run into the wrong person and they might say something to you that might break your heart or make you rethink about being in the dancing, but don't let it bug you because that's just one person. There's billions of people here that could say something, but one person is not gonna be the one to change your mind on things. Like you know who you are, you know what you want to do. If you want to pursue this, you just gotta keep going, and that's definitely what I did. Um, what else? I mean, yeah, pretty much almost holding that person by their hand when we're in the dancing or in the dance community. It's like, hey, these are my friends. I want you to dance with them. Okay, they're here to help too. I mean, they're here to social dance, but if you ask them to dance, they're not going to say no. Um, I would introduce them to people who they probably think they would never meet. Um, I mean, say if it was my son, you're like, hey, this is Michael Campo. He's the one that taught me how to dance. Or this is Oscar Castaneda, and this guy just reeks of New York Mambo style. So if you want to learn that, like this is the guy you want to definitely like be with. Aside from me just showing you your basics and bringing you places to get comfortable and to get used to this type of scene. So that's definitely like the route that I would start with for new dancers. Obviously, if they're young kids, um, training is going to be crazy. Social dancing won't come as fast because obviously they're not allowed in clubs 18 and up. Um, but if dance is something that they really love, pursue it. I've seen so many phenomenal dancers when I first started dancing, and they're like anywhere from 8 to 12 years old, and I've seen them grow to the stars that they are right now, and it's amazing to see the growth. So, to the younger dancers, I mean, if you really love dance, definitely pursue it and test every aspect of it. Don't just train to train and to perform, but train to have fun. I think that's something that uh, some new dancers are not seeing when they train. They're like, oh, I want to get good right now. Like, I want to be better. I want to be a pro. It's like you pound yourself like that so much, you're gonna start creating your own self doubt, and you don't want that. You want it to be fun. Obviously, there's gonna be times where you're training with pros, and the the advanced level classes are gonna be very intense, and it's gonna be frustrating. But I mean, it took me my opposite basics of bachata that almost made me quit dance. But like I said, I had people around me that said, "Hey, don't beat yourself up over this one move. There's thousands of other moves that you're gonna learn down the road. So this one move, just kind of like the one person who gives you like bad criticism, it's like don't let that bug you. Just keep going, keep doing what you're doing. You'll be fine." But last piece of advice: find the joy in dance. Don't just dance to dance. Like be there to be in the atmosphere, to accept like the love from your own dance community and the offer of help from other dancers to get better. Because one thing that's preached, especially out of the Bay Area, is social dancing is like your best practice. There's so many like workshops and training and intensives that you could do, but if you really want to get good, social dance. And coming from experience, I social danced the first year and a half straight, 6 nights a week, and I didn't know where it was taking me, but it took me to higher peaks in the dance industry to a point where I'm just going to be forever thankful because the journey has been amazing. Of course, there's been some ups and downs, but that's life. There's always going to be ups and downs, whether in the dancing or outside the dancing. But you need to take every piece of this journey in your dance career to be able to be that unique person. So yeah, it's there's so much that could be said to a young mind or to new dancers, and I'm always just going to be able to give them my best piece of advice. 100%.
Yes, and 100% is all they ask for. Um, I want to touch on a couple things. You said so much, times like these, I need like a legal secretary because I am bad at it. I am bad at keeping track of stuff. I'm not one of those people that be like, well, what is that? But like every time he said I'm going to get like an assistant or a secretary to help me with his interviews, write things down that you guys tell me so I could go back. I never do so. But let me say this: what you everything you said is very inspirational, and I want to touch on a couple quick points there that you mentioned, and I want to reiterate to the public, especially to the young ones, since we just talked about the the young people question. Being humble is super important nowadays in the dance world. It's not like, and I don't want to talk bad about other dances, and so, but I just want to say when I entered the bachata world from the American club world, totally different two worlds. And I'm not talking about, the language barrier that, bachata is more like, non-English speaking music, and then American club is American music and the way people dress. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking more about, like you just said in your words, is about being humble. And I think maybe not you or I, Christopher, but I think the younger generation. I think it's since the bachata stuff has grown, as we know. It's grown. Everywhere around the world, more nations,
Hmm.
more areas and stuff is becoming like a big thing. The young ones, I think, are getting a little confused about the meaning of these socials. I remember back in my days, if you go to a social, it's all about meeting a hot chick and getting married, getting her pregnant or whatever, looking good, talking to your friends about her, or like, you reject her if she's like ugly, or you accept her because she's pretty. Those were like back in my day. Now, the bachata world and all of this stuff, it is being humble and you know social dancing and a lot of this is for maybe the guys. I can't really talk about what goes on in a woman's head, but in a guy's head, because I was a young guy once. Little guys, it's not that. Okay, if you're thinking about getting all dressed up, going to these bachata socials to pick up the love of your life, it ain't gonna happen. It might happen just for a minute or a half, or a day and a half, maybe a month and a half, but not for a decade and a half. So, and I think those young ones fail to understand what humble is. Humble, it doesn't mean. I asked a little one day, define humble to me. Is being poor and can't like speak English and just like living on the street and asking for money. I didn't say define helpless or homeless. I said define humble. Okay, so I think the problem is that when these little ones go dancing and they enter the bachata world, okay, they they bring all these stuff in their head from past experience. They with these like, I'm gonna go in heck with humble Roswell. I'm gonna dance with a hot chick, even if a chick that doesn't look hot asks me to dance. I'm gonna ignore her because that's her problem and not mine. Whoa, uh-uh. So California, what you guys are doing, what you just said in your words, you guys are preaching or you guys are trying to expand the understanding of social dancing. These bachata events are not just to look pretty and spin around and then put a video on. And I mean, yeah, it could be that, but it's more to, and I think that's a problem. I think it's going to be a problem soon, for the younger generations, because um, the bachata stuff is not being appreciated like it used to. And this is one of the reasons I do these interviews, not only for promos and to help the world, but just to reiterate that a lot of people are forgetting the essence of why they go to these socials. You know,
Hmm.
it's. I mean, so I'm happy you mentioned humble. It's good to be humble. It's good to, if you're gonna want to become a pro, go to more socials. Encouragement is there. Rejection, Christopher, I want to bring this up. Rejection, it's gonna happen more often in a dance world, maybe so in a bachata world, but like you just said in your words, man, just because one or two people say no to you, so what? You know what you want, just let it go and whatever. But there are people, and here's where the women, this is for you young ladies, okay? If you say no to a guy at a dance social, a bachata social, whatever, you say no to him because he's really an ass, or he's really a jerk, or he's really bad. Not just because, oh, I don't think he has a cooties, or he's too big, he's too. I mean, it goes both ways for the young girls and the young guys. Guys, don't go with these little expectation that I'm gonna go knock her up, take her home. And women, young women, don't go with expectation that, oh, he's not handsome enough for me, and my friends might talk. So if you guys go with this mentality, this bachata stuff is it ends before it begins. You know, right, Christopher? You're right. That makes sense. What I'm saying, right? So, so it's not people like you and I. We're experienced. We've been there. But the little one, I think, and I think the problem is that they need to be, there needs to be more literature. Here's where the book comes in that you're going to write. You know, they need to be like an appreciation of music or appreciation of bachata, not just Romero and Prince Roy, looking good and it's so that's why I want to do these interviews because I don't want it just to be immediate thing publicity. There's more to this bachata world than other people know about it, and this is especially for the young ones. So to make a long story short, 'cause I don't want to spend all night on this. I'm going to get yelled at by social media for like keeping you here half the night. But the point is that the people that are just entering the dance world, the bachata world, especially, keep in mind that it's a world of being kind, being humble, you know, just being pure, being whole. It's not a place to have high expectation and a place to hook up and to talk about who I dance with and he's hot and she's hot. That's not cool. That's not. So that's what I want to say. Okay, I don't, that just for the record, I just want to say that. Okay. Um, so moving on to my next question. I'm so sorry, man. I didn't mean to go on
No
about.
worries, no worries.
But I want to ask you about like how organizers can better like organize events and support one another, right? Because has not to mention places or names or whatever. I see stuff, right, Chris or Christopher? I want to call you Christopher so badly. You can see I keep stopping myself. Christopher, um, I see stuff and I see like Saturday night comes or Sunday night, Friday night comes. All of these big potshot promoters, they have their event, they spend thousands of dollars and this and that and blah blah blah. But only a couple of people will show up at each of their events, and it happens over and over and over and over and over. So it makes me think that is it a macho thing? Okay, something in sociology it's called machismo or machismo or something like that. Maybe it's a sign that these people just do these stuff, throw these big parties, the bachata events, and who cares who shows up once they post it and they look good and whatever. Maybe it's an image thing, or maybe they're not promoting it right, or maybe there's not enough support. And this is the question I wanted to ask you. Saturday night comes, you have all of these different bachata events going on, and each of the people that promoted or have it on the same day, they spend thousands of dollars each, right? Um, how could they better promote their event or do their events? I always say, wouldn't it make sense if just say you and I we come together, man? It's Saturday night. Everyone knows me. Everyone knows you. How can people choose? Should I go to Cool Roswell or Cool Chris? They don't have to choose because you and I are going to come together that Saturday night, right? Split the profit, make life easier for them so they don't have to choose and blah, blah, blah. Did you think that makes sense? But that doesn't happen much these days. It doesn't, and I don't know why. So I wanted to ask you your opinion, just no right or wrong response. How do you feel or event organizers can better support one another to avoid them having like their event here and his event here and her event there, and then we have to choose who events we're going to go to and blah blah blah, and then they don't make any much money, and so I don't know, man. I don't know what you're saying on that.
It all starts with one word, and sometimes this word is not used or it's not taken seriously, and that word is communication. Um, our scene is fairly small here, so um, everybody knows when someone has an event, and everybody's well aware of what to do and respect each other's events. Communication is key. Um, but I think one thing too is, like you mentioned, collaborations. Collaborations are always great. That helps because you're like, oh my gosh, you have an amazing host and an amazing DJ collaborating to create like a once a month event or to create a every 3 month event, and everybody loves it. Um, like you had mentioned, there's there's outside venues trying to do a salsa bachata night. They're usually known for being that social club and not a salsa bachata club. Usually they would overwhelm, like you said, with promotions and everything, and not too many people shows up. I mean, it's probably known because you're seeing of what you're usually doing for most nights, and you just also want to do a salsa bachata night versus a studio collaborating with a DJ to create like a once a week event. There's a lot more draw there because you're engaging the students and also the fans of that DJ. It's like, oh my gosh, that DJ is coming to the studio to DJ for a social once a week. Heck yeah, I want to be there. So collaboration, communication are my first two things. Third thing is sucking it up in the beginning, because I I've I've started things and it's not always 100% at the beginning. I the bachata room is fresh. Since we're in this conversation, and I just started it on a Tuesday. It's to help improve social dancing for new and experienced dancers, and to create a bachata only dance venue every other week. So the purpose of this obviously is to cater to all the bachata dancers, new and experienced, to get together so they would know each other, know the DJs involved, know Lexi who assists with teaching at the bachata room to provide an experience. Um, is it always going to be busy? Every single class, every single event? No, it's not, and that's where you learn and you begin to humble yourself. It's like, okay, we had an amazing opening night. Second night happens. It's slow. It's okay. I'm just gonna keep going. So for promoters who are starting new events, I mean, definitely communicate with others. Definitely look into your dance scene. See what they're craving. Obviously, there's gonna be salsa and bachata nights everywhere. What's something that you could provide differently to the dancers and the bachata room? I know you wanted to talk about that. That's the purpose of the bachata room. It's to help improve the social dancers with bachata, and also educate them with the moves, the basics, like the down, dirty, traditional bachata basics. Um, letting them experience a different music. Um, that way, the experience for them is like, oh my gosh, I've never heard Romeo Santos' first album. I only heard his new stuff. That happened to me. Romeo Santos You, I played that on a random night, and the person came up to me, he's like, "Hey, who is this?" I was like, "This is Romeo Santos, and the song's called You." I think I'm old, but
Uh,
again, just coming down to being able to educate your social dancers. Obviously, some people want to create events to be the big time event, make money, be a party, but um, there's different ways to get into starting events or starting a salsa night or a bachata night. It's and don't expect it to be 100% right from the get go. You have to build yourself. So, um, yeah, I mean, starting a new event, communication, humble, and education. You're not there just to put a DJ on the stage and play music so people could dance. I mean, they could go to the Friday night event for that, the Thursday night event for that. Like, get creative, collaborate, make it interesting, and um, I mean, if you have to, just make it once a month. Hello Bachata, Jimmy's event is once a month, and everybody always looks forward to that event. Not just because it's earlier in the day, not just because it's in San Francisco, not because I'm there, not because other DJs are there, or there's a Kizomba room, but the experience that everybody gets in that one event each month makes them want to crave more. And the feedback that we're getting from dancers, like, oh my gosh, why don't you guys do this every single day? Now you know. Because if we did it every single day, I mean, every single day, every single week, I'm sorry, every single week of that month, you're eventually going to grow out of it and then not come. So being able to work with that and see how you could continue to be interesting and improve and get better. I mean, as events, that's all what you can do. You can't just be the same single event every single night, especially if you're just starting up. You gotta find cool ways to cool folks who dance bachata. You gotta find cool ways to definitely attract the dancers. So like, oh hey, I have this new Monday night event. Come out, salsa, bachata, timba, and have a great time. And this is like every first and third or once a month. And it's something interesting because one, Monday events are not usually a thing. Obviously, we know that it's usually Tuesday to Sunday for some reason. So that comes to like Mueve Mondays that me and DJ Ron do here in Sacramento and Davis communities, where every first and third, and we get all the Cuban dancers to come out. We have the local students who are dancers to come out, and we get people who wants to dance on Mondays to come out, and the crowd is just always having a great time. So definitely like spinning that all together, partnering with someone and being creative, getting performers or getting nice instructors is definitely going to be huge versus just I got a venue, here's your DJ, let's dance salsa and bachata. Like there's a huge difference. It's like I said, it's like you could just go to the club that's already established on a Friday and you already know they have great music and you already know the dancers going there versus a new established place that's just putting a DJ on the stage and people dancing and be creative. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you said a lot of great points. I mean, I could hop on a plane and come from New York to California right now to give you a big Roswell hug. Because I agree with so much you're saying, especially the part. I mean, I just had a talk with one of my friends about this. It's not good. Yeah, it's really not good to like go every week or do the same thing every. I mean, well, I have to be careful how I say this because I could offend a lot of people and a lot of my organizers who have events every week. They're like, Roswell, are you discouraging people not to come to our events every week? No, no. Let me be very careful what I say. Um, Having events every week is great, but um, for organizers, that's great. I mean, it's a job. They have, but on the opposite end, the participants or the guests. I mean, for me, okay, let me say, okay, for me, I mean, I try, I try so hard not to go every day or every week to the same event because I don't want to, wake up age 80 or 80 something or whatever, or 90 or whatever, and I look back and I'm like, there were so much other events and stuff I could have gone to in my young days and I didn't. I ended up going to this same event. I try so hard not to do that, and it's so difficult um, to resist that, especially when you live. I mean, in a big city, or you have friends that they call you like, okay, we're gonna meet you at this and this exactly, right? You're gonna be here. So you brought up a very very good point. And this has a lot to do. Um, okay, and this may have a lot to do with how events are are done. But it's not good the same event or same stuff week after week, day after day, because eventually it's not fun anymore. It's like work, and I try to tell my friends that, and I try to tell, you know, but it's good like these one-to-one social and all of this stuff, which, you know, that is something I would agree with.
Mhm.
Again, there's nothing wrong having your event every day or having a workshop every day or every week or whatever. That's great, but on the flip side, it's good to see other stuff and support other stuff and not do the same stuff every time because it's going to seem like work and then it's not going to feel like dancing anymore. Like you were saying
Yeah,
a few minutes ago, you have to appreciate music, the dancing and stuff. But how can you appreciate it if you have to want to go to these events, not have to, but want to. So
yeah.
yeah. Um, I know you have to go pretty soon. How much time do we have left to go before? Sorry.
I got about 5 minutes left. Yeah.
Okay, great. Let me. Sorry, just just burped. Just had dinner. So, everybody just heard Russell just burped live. Anyway, let's read this cool this cool stuff that Larry Tony uh written about you. Okay, on social media, the tribute. Okay, can we share that? Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's completely fine with me.
Okay. So okay, here we go. So I'm gonna read this. Okay. Okay, this is fabulous. What Larry has posted here about you, I think it's fabulous. So I'm gonna read it out loud, right? Everyone can read along with me. So Larry posted back in January, the living our living legend, a tribute to Kristoffer. I love this so much. Okay, I've had the privilege of being a cool little wallflower to one of the most beautiful stories of growth our community has ever seen. I want to write this because this man has impressed me. I want everyone to see how large of a role he has played throughout the course of history and his 12 or so years in the scene. Chris Cross took on an elevated role this past weekend at the Reno Latin Dance Fest, headlining great DJ hours as well as the Jack and Jill, and he left so many people, especially those who brought him on board, extremely impressed. It makes me feel so proud that he's one of us. He stepped up into huge roles like that throughout his whole history. From him taking on the culturally significant Brazilian funk at the grad, to then DJing at the grad, then leading a dance team, and throughout everything, teaching so many classes in between. The smart people among us know that in order for a plant to thrive, you must water it. Chris currently waters our community in the form of our Malvet Monday and Bachata Room Tuesday events. He teaches workshops series, and he DJed a lot of our weddings and classy events, like at wineries. When you really think about it, he adds so much to our scene. He's becoming a big time phenomenon. People fly him out to DJ, like in and LA, and there have been times when he DJed for past the club's hours because he got everyone rocking. It's good. He's special to me because I've grown alongside him. He's the head DJ to Sacramento's premier dance festival and resident DJ of our weekly Friday social. I told him at the last festival that his mom would be so proud of him. Despite all he's gone through, he's created so much beauty that so many people enjoy. In case you didn't know, he's had the same like three pictures for about 15 years. And one time we had a beach theme social and someone requested him in a bikini. I'm lucky to be aligned with him and see him elevate. I'm really impressed by my friend and I'm proud that he's grown so much. He looks out for me and all of us to make the max and grow. He's well, like, I don't want to say that word on, but he's Crisscross, the master of the dance floor and bright star of our community. I know there's little kids watching me here. So someday I want to see him playing at a Kings game because he mentioned to me when we went to a game together that that was on his bucket list. Fun fact: the first event I was a part of was 8 years ago, and in the creation of Capital Latin Dance, one of whom was Chris. Chris, I mean I mean that's like one of the best. Uh, I mean, I gotta. How did Larry come up with this? I mean, I didn't even realize. Sorry, sorry about that. My mistake. Sorry. No more of that video stuff. I didn't even. Sorry about that. I didn't even realize he would come up with something. Like, how do you feel knowing that someone has written all those stuff about you? I mean, I'm sure you didn't expect this. I mean, how? That's a lot. That's a lot he's written. It's not just like, oh, he's Chris did a good job. That's like it's like a history of you, it's like a relationship with you. It's like you time to do that and write and to express. Like, how do you feel, man? Like, how do you feel to know that? I
I mean,
mean, that's deep stuff.
that it is. It is. It did come after the Reno Latin Dance Fest, as you had mentioned in there. But I, to be honest, like I stay in my lane. Like I don't expect things from others. I
Mm,
just want to continue to do good by others. I
mm,
mean, you treat me with respect, I'll treat you with respect. You help
mm,
me out, I'll help you out. Um, and that's all what I've done for the community. Like I go to everybody's social if I'm able to. I love to support everyone, and like I said in the beginning of this interview, is like a lot of people helped me, so why would I turn into some random douchebag and be like, no, I don't want to go there or I don't want to go here? It's I need to give back what this community has given to me, and that's by giving them the best experience at events that I'm DJing at, helping them learn new moves when I'm instructing at either events or at my workshops that I teach on Tuesdays with Lexi. I mean, there's just so much that obviously I'm continuing doing and not expect a return. So when this post actually finally like caught my eyes, I'm just like I I was speechless. I mean, because um, I always just continue to do what I do, and I just continue to push as much as I can until I can, and that's all I have to, I mean, do. And I know you had mentioned my mom in there, and rest her heart. The community, I'm still forever thankful for this event. It was about a month or two after my mom's passing 2 years ago, and Larry and a bunch of organizers in the community got together and created this huge event to celebrate the life of my mom, one, and two, to help raise money for my family that had to fly out from Jersey, from Georgia, people coming from the Bay Area, just to get to the funeral to stay there, make their peace with my mom before we laid her to rest. So it's this community is to me is unique when it comes to need to get under one roof together. I mean, it happens, and I could say that because it did happen 2 years ago, and like I said, it's like these things come as a surprise for me. I didn't ask for an event for my mom. I just let everybody know what's going on, that I'll probably be absent from the scene or not. And here they are coming up with this event, and Larry with this post, and just the continuous love and support of people coming to the events that I'm at and that I'm partnering with others, and they're showing up to those events, and the support of the other instructors and DJs that I've worked with. So yeah, it's there's a lot of love. It's what I could say, and yeah, it's I just want to continue to give back to the community as much as I can because
mm,
to them, I don't know it, but to them I do mean something to them, and it is good to know that and to be reminded that, because obviously there's times where the day will get slow and you'll be tired, and next thing you know, this random dancer is gonna message you or come to your social or come to your class and say, "Hey, I'm glad you're doing this. I've been looking for an outlet like this to learn or to dance," and knowing that they're possibly having the great experience that I had when I was younger as a dancer will re-energize myself to, okay, cool. This thing that I'm doing and the dancing is working, and it's motivating others to continue to learn, to continue to dance, and to continue to go out. And obviously people are going to take their breaks. Like I said, you have to take a break. Too much of something is never good, but as long as you come back to it and you're still able to enjoy it, that's when you know that it's something important to you.
True, true. I think they did all of that for you because you're a good man. Is obviously, I mean, you and I. It's only now you and I really, really connecting and stuff. And I don't know you that well, but I can see why all of these stuff were done to you by your friends because you seem like a good guy. You know, you seem very. I don't know. You seem cool. I feel like there are people on this earth. You meet them for like a half a minute, and you're still like, watch my back or watch what I say or. But you seem like the type. You're very. I don't know. It's like a good. How can I say this? It's like a good vibe. Like this positive energy. I feel. I mean, not to get too mystical and religious here, but I guess what I'm saying, the reason your friends did what they did and they're going to continue doing more is because it goes back to what I said an hour ago when we opened up this interview. You be yourself. When you are you, people come to you. You don't need to come to them, they come to you, when you are you. And I guess because you are you and they appreciate that and they love that, they'll be doing more for you, including me. I mean, you seem like the type of person I would invite right now to my house to sleep over. There are people from Cool Folks. I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to even just look at my picture. No, but you, I mean, no offense, guys, but like, but you're one of the people. You just, I don't know, man. You just seem blessed. Is that okay if I just say that? You just seem blessed, you
Yeah,
know,
no, I
naturally.
definitely do get that, and I mean,
Really?
I
Oh,
wear this cross for a reason. So,
okay.
um,
I didn't even look at.
that
I
like
can't even see the cross because the camera is so small. I didn't even know you had a cross
yeah,
there.
yeah, no, it's like I said, I'm forever thankful for like this journey that I'm still on, and I don't think I'll be able to say thank you enough to this dance community that's embraced me ever since I was a young dancer.
Mhm.
Um, so all I know is just to continue to spread the love that was shown to me. Like I said, it's you show me respect, I'm gonna show you respect back. You're supporting me, you're always motivating me. I'm gonna do my best to do that too, to continue to spread the love and joy of this dance community. So yeah, I it's a lot, and like I still like think of the memories growing as a dancer from then to now, and like I said, I'm just forever thankful, and I think that's what humbles me because um, all like there was no lack of support. There was always someone ready to say something or someone ready to do something to
Mhm.
keep it going.
Okay, that's great. That's great to know, man. That's great. You're a great guy. I know you have to go. I don't want your fiance to come to New York and beat the crap out of me for. What are you keeping my man talking about personal
She's
stuff?
Puerto Rican. She's
Oh,
Puerto Rican,
really?
so fair
Oh,
warning. She's boarding.
oh, my, that's great. She's from PR. My brother's wife is from PR. Yeah, and the
Yeah,
baby looks wonderful. I mean, when you get kids, my the kid like my nephew he has like he looked like a little bit of like Romero, a little bit of Gandhi, it's like a mixture of like West Indies and Spanish and all of this stuff. Like his hair is like curly. Your kids are gonna look beautiful, bro. I know that for they are. They're gonna look super
looking
beautiful.
for. I'm definitely looking forward to it. when it happens. So I'm
It's gonna
excited
happen
for that.
soon. Trust me, very
Yeah.
soon. You
Yeah.
gotta get two hats for. Oh no, okay. But anyway, it was good talking with you, and it was a
Hmm.
pleasure. It was a blessing. You could come back anytime you want to. We can go live again. It may not be like an hour and a half. It may be a little less now because now we know you. But and I think you said if you come up this way, let me know. I'm in the Wayne, New Jersey area, which is right near New York. Let me know, or
Hmm.
when I come down, I was gonna say down south, but if you're in the Florida area, Atlanta area, when you come in the East Coast, let me know, and definitely, hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers, but I'm planning this summer to, hopefully this time, come to California and just, it would be good to get all you guys together, like JP and Larry and you and and Marcos and like all of you guys like in one little area of California. California is pretty big, man. If I go to California, I'm gonna have to go to Los Angeles to go see this person. I have to go to San Diego to see that guy. Then I have to go to Sacramento to see. Then I gotta go. So I'm gonna try to tell you guys when I'm gonna come in advance, so you guys can like come together in one little section of California. California is big, so one little section of California. Maybe all
Yeah.
the you know all the cool folks hang out, whatever, and then we can all hang out, have like a fraternity fraternity bachata get together. Got some Sacramento meet in LA meet in the favorite. So, well, I'll do my best to come and say hello to you guys. Sorry about that. It's a dying of here. No more shoveling without a jacket. But anyway, it was good talking to you. You have a good night, and thank you, and you take care. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for having me on here, and thank you to everyone who's watching this video now or later when you see it. But yeah, definitely look forward to coming back when I'm able to dish out a lot more uh, answers to your questions, because a lot of people want to know things sometimes and get advice. So yeah,
Okay.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, my friend.
You too.